Hi everybody. In this video we are going to introduce you to the unit circle, and we will use the unit circle to introduce to you the circular functions in a subsequent video. Okay, so the unit circle is, as you might have guessed, is a circle. The radius happens to be equal to 1, and then the governing equation for the circle is going to be the equation x squared plus y squared equals 1, which once again tells you that it is centered at the origin and has a radius of 1. When we're dealing with unit circle, we're always going to be dealing with a central angle, and that angle is going to be theta. So since we know what this angle is, we can always figure out the arc length. The arc length will be r times theta. However, since r is equal to 1, the arc length will always be equal to theta units. So if your central angle is theta radians, your arc length will always be theta units, whatever units of distance you want to use. Now, there's a lot of symmetry associated with the unit circle. We have symmetry with respect to the x-axis, we have symmetry with respect to the y-axis, and we have symmetry with respect to the origin. What does all that mean? Well, it basically means that if you have a point that lies on a unit circle, we can call the point AB. Well, if that's the case, well then the point negative AB lies on the unit circle in a different quadrant. The point negative A, negative B also lies on that circle in yet a different quadrant. And finally, the point A, negative B also lies on that circle. We also have what we call reference angles, and each of these points right here have the exact same reference angle. Remember the reference, well, they do have the exact same reference angle. Remember, the reference angle is essentially the angle from the x-axis to the terminal side of that particular angle. So this is theta, this is theta, this is theta, and this is theta. As a consequence, they also have the exact same reference arc. Now that arc is basically nothing more than the arc associated with the reference angle. Namely, this distance, this is a reference arc, is theta. This distance is also theta units, and theta units. So you can look at the reference angle in terms of the arc. You can look at the reference arc as basically the arc associated with the reference angle, or you can look at the reference arc as the shortest distance from the x-axis to the particular point on the unit circle. And this right here also gives you an example of the type of symmetry you can find in the circle. For example, here is the point 1/2 square root of 3 over 2, which is the point where the angle actually has a measure of pi over 3 radians, or actually 60 degrees. So here's our basic point. Our second point over here is negative 1/2 root 3 over 2, and the symmetry associated with that particular point is basically symmetry with the y-axis. Over here we have our third point, which is negative 1/2 negative root 3 over 2, and that is symmetric about the origin. And then finally over here we have the point well, actually that's a typo. That should be the point 1/2 negative root 3 over 2. And that, of course, has symmetry about the x-axis. So this right here, at least for one particular point, gives you an appreciation for the other points that can be on the circle based upon this point and the symmetry associated with each. And that is all that I have for this video. This is Bob Boyle, signing off.